Hey class, looks like I'm going to be out today, so we are going to do our 13.2 notes virtually. So what you're looking at is, wait for it, the 13.2 notes. Please get your notes out and go to page 5 because that's where I am. Pause this whenever you need to. Rewind it whenever you need to watch something over. It's all good, but the lesson is joint, direct, and inverse variations, and I'm going to show you how to do problems that involve those three formulas. So let's get at it. So number one, let's take a look at the formulas. All right, you're going to see some definitions here, and it says direct variation, joint variation, and inverse variation. What I would do if I were you is I would go into that those boxes with those with the explanations of them, and where it says direct variation, let's circle that. So when you're doing direct variation, what you need to know is we're going to use that equation. When we're going to see the word joint variation, we're going to use that one right there. There it is. And when we see inverse variation, we're going to use right there, that formula. So let's start looking at problems, and I'll show you how simple these can be to do. So here we go. Number one, we see a problem here, and it says if y varies inversely. So I see the word inversely, and I think, all right, inverse variation, I'm going to use the inverse variation formula. So I'm going to write that down right now. Y equals k over x. Look at me go. All right, now when you read these sentences, what you're going to notice, if I can get this to focus a little better. Come on, focus, focus, focus. You can do it. You can do it, phone. You can do it, phone. Focus. Okay, that's pretty good. There we go. There we go. All right, you're going to notice it says if y varies inversely as x and y equals 12 when x equals 10, comma, that comma is important, by the way, find y when x equals 15. Here's how I do these problems. I look for the comma, and I put a break in the problem right there. So, right there. Now, what I notice is on one side of the comma, I have this information. And on the other side of the comma, I have this information. How I do these problems is I say, okay, which side of the comma gives me more info? I'm like, all right, on the left side, I have a 12 and a 10. But on the right side, I only know what x is. It's 15. So I'm like, all right, I've got more information on the left side of the comma. I'm going to use that first. And here's what I mean by use that first. It says y is 12 and x is 10. So I'm going to put 12 in for y, and I'm going to put an x in for 10. And what you'll notice is that doing that lets me solve for the letter k. Hey, I didn't put a 10 there. Silly. Okay, there we go, 10. All right, now, if I want to get k by itself, it's being divided by 10, so I'll have to times by 10. Do it to each side. All right, so now we see that k equals 120. All right, so if we go back up to our initial things here, it says k is some non-zero constant. It's some number that's not zero. We just don't know what it is yet. Well, now we do. In this problem, that number is 120. And that's going to let us find the answer that we really wanted to know. The problem really wanted us to figure out, hey, if x was 15, what would y be? Now that we know what the k value is, for the first time, we can do that. So, now that I know that, I'm going to go like this. And now I'm going to go over to the part of the problem where I had less information. So I'm going to write y equals k over x again. And they want to know what is y when x is 15. So there's a 15 on the bottom, and we can actually solve that now because we know that the k value is 120. So I'll put that 120 in there. So to know what y is, all we have to do is take 120, divide it by 15. I think that's going to be 8. Let's make sure. Yeah, it is. I already put it in there. I knew. All right, I cheated. And there we go. So 120 divided by 15 is 8. The answer to this problem is find y. Well, we did. It's 8. Y equals 8. Oops. And we nailed it. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Number 2. By the way, these are all pretty much going to go exactly like this. So you're just going to see me doing more examples. So Schwalier reads the problem. He sees the word varies directly. So what do? I go up and I find the formula for direct. And you'll look and see that it's y equals kx. So I write that down. Y equals kx. Y equals kx. All right, look at me go. Yay. Refocus. This is my very fancy cell phone that I'm taking this from. Come on, you can do it. Boy, it's really not doing it, is it?